Alright boys, what's happening? Welcome back to another episode of F1 2021 My Team here on the channel. We're uploading this episode on a Tuesday instead of a Monday. The upload schedule is going to be a bit different in the coming weeks with the release of FIFA 22 just around the corner, or officially out and out if you did get the special edition of that game. But yeah, like I say, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule is no longer sustainable with me also doing FIFA videos on the channel, so there will be a little switch up in the upload schedule. The best way to never miss an upload is by subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell. Make sure you turn that bell on and you'll never miss an upload. If you've missed the last few episodes, go and check them out. You can see the results of the last 3 episodes on the screen right now. We got the 3-peat, we got the back-to-back wins in Baku, Canada and France. We've got some fantastic momentum coming into Austria. If you remember in the first season, this race in Austria was an absolute stinker for us. We came P19, I do believe. I might have just made that up, but it was pretty stinky, if you do remember so correctly. Getting into qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix. Like I said in the last few videos, boys, our car in qualifying has not been the best. You know, I haven't really been able to click with the car in qualifying and string a lap together. But here, halfway through qualifying 1 in Austria, you can see we're setting a lap now on a Hotlap, 1.4 tenths quicker than our previous best lap, and we go purple in sector 1, get a nice apex and exit out of technically what is called turn 3 in Austria, but it's basically turn 2 because turn 2 is pretty much nothing. Braking just after the 100-meter board down to 3rd, little bit of rotation on from the curb there, and stomping on the power, and we are still 1 tenth up on our previous lap. Down to 5th gear, get on the power as early as possible. We've run a bit wide there on the curb, trying to apply that power too early there. We run wide on that curb yet again, but we're still up in the Delta. Sector 2 for me is where I lose majority of my time in Austria. That corner there taken poorly as well, down to 4th gear. But across the line, 1.8 tenths quicker, or 1.9 tenths as we cross the line. That puts us in P13, just ahead of Lando Norris. Lando Norris, rest in peace, after the Grand Prix at the weekend. I don't even remember what it was, Russia, yeah, Lando. Unfortunately for Lando, if you did watch that race, you know, very sad moment for Lando Norris. Anyway, back to our race in Austria. We qualified P16 in Q1, which means we're going to make it through to Q2 just about. Then in Q2, it is lashing down the rain, boys. As you can see, intermediate tyres on the car, intermediate conditions coming across the line here, a whole second up nearly on our previous lap. Puts us in P12. I think we're going to go again for another flying lap. The weather is always mental in Austria for me on this game. One of those tracks I always see rain at. So can we improve on our lap? Now it seems to be getting easier as the time goes on in the session. You can see our delta straight away is up by so much, and it's not even like we've made up time in like braking or anything like that. It's actually just on the straight and through turn 1 there seems to be a lot more grip. So the rain must be dying off heading towards Q3. So we are 5 tenths up now, as you can see, or 4 tenths nearly on this lap. So improving a lot when we're going to need to, because we're only in P12. Can we get into that Q3 session, into the top 10? I can't remember the last time we was in Q3. I think it was Baku, or did we get there in Canada? I don't even know, bro, because the last race in France we were P14, I think, on the grid. Nothing special coming through those final 2 corners. We've lost a bit of time through that one. That was very poor. And through the final corner, a nice exit, or if at least it felt like, 4 tenths quicker across the line, up into P5 ahead of Nico Rosberg in P6. So we are into the top 10, and that's how it's going to stay. Nobody can improve on their time. Sergio Perez, the big shocker there, out in Q2 in P16. That is absolutely massive. Don't know what the hell happened to Sergio there. 3 seconds slower than Max Verstappen in P1. His teammates, very weird. Now we come out in Q3, boys, and I said it was thunder and lightning, so I just wanted to see what it looked like in game, and look how dark the game is. You know, you don't need to turn your brightness up on your phone. This was just the game. How dark it was, you can't even see the sky, and it's so wet. There was not even a point in setting a lap right there in those conditions. You see it's cleared up a little. I think we go around and set a little bank a lap, and that puts us in P1 because nobody else had to go out on those conditions. Missing the apex of turn 1 there. I think we're back onto the intermediate tyres now. So Obviously going to be a lot quicker than with those full wets on. The water, the standard water's cleared up a little, and we are down into intermediate conditions. Very slow coming out of the hairpin right there. I hate that corner with a passion. It is so hard, especially in the rain. It's so easy to lose traction through there, and then in the rain it's even worse. So I absolutely hate that corner right there, but we are improving on our lap still, our previous lap, and it's going to be the end of qualifying for the majority of cars, apart from the top 6. I do believe one of the McLarens you can see on the left hand side coming down the straight now, those cars managed to pass the line before qualifying ended, so they're going to get to do another lap on this track as the track is evolving and the weather is clearing up. You see we're nearly a second faster, so just every single lap, you know, they're getting faster and faster. The track's evolving, but we're going to miss out on an extra lap that everyone else is going to be able to do while the track is drying up, but we're going to be 1.2 tenths or 1.2 seconds quicker than our previous lap. Let's see where that puts us, but like I say, boys, everyone else timed it perfectly to get another lap in after our final one had finished. So yeah, we're going to be P10. Nico Rosberg in P7, Nico out-qualifying us by 5 tenths. Like I say, the track evolution was mad. If we could have gone for another lap, I'm sure we could have got into that 112 flat range around Daniel and Nico. But obviously me and Pierre missing out on going again and being 4 tenths slower than the guys ahead of us. Let's get to the race.
This is it then, race day in Spielberg for this year's Austrian Grand Prix. Not long to go before our drivers hurtle off the line and into the first turn, the Niki Lauda curve, as it was renamed in 2019 in memory of one of Formula One's most beloved figures. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 metres above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill turn 3. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Lando Norris and Hamilton, Rosberg, Ricciardo, Gasly, the owner driver, Fernando Alonso, Vettel, Esteban Ocon and Tsunoda, Giovinazzi, Perez, Lance Stroll and Nicholas Latifi, Russell, Mick Schumacher, Tictum and Nikita Mazepin. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Okay then, boys, there is the starting grid. We are going to go with the 2-stop strategy. I hate doing the 1-stop around Austria, so we are going to go with the 2-stop, even though we are a little further back on the grid than we would have liked, but we are in the top 10 still. And it is 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go in Austria for the Austrian Grand Prix. Daniel Ricciardo in front of us, cutting off that inside line, but we're going to fly down the inside, almost make contact with Carlos Sainz there, so we have to cut the corner completely. Illegal overtake on Pierre Gasly and Carlos Sainz. We have to give those 2 positions back there, down turn 1, but we had to take evasive action there and completely cut that corner. We're going to send it down the inside again on those 2, Pierre Gasly, Carlos Sainz. They're going to be on the outside, a lot better traction around the outside through turn 3 in Austria. Gasly flies ahead, he's the one on the furthest outside. Let's see a replay of that start now. Carlos Sainz turns in without looking in his mirrors as we were flying up the inside from way downtown, to be fair to Carlos. But yeah, we have to concede 2 positions there to Pierre and Carlos for that illegal overtake. But we try and send it down the inside. Lewis comes across us, nearly makes contact. You see how much traction Gasly gets on the outside, how much better the traction was in that area. So heading towards that downhill braking zone now. We're going to try and stay behind Carlos and Pierre as they go wheel to wheel through this turn now. Gasly a little wobble there on the exit. We're going to tuck in behind the slipstream from Pierre Gasly as Carlos steps out a little, but coming through, Carlos back into the mix now. We have a little tiny bit of oversteer through that corner there. I just had to catch it real quick, and a bigger snap of oversteer there, so the tyres must be just on fire or something. I don't even know what caused those 2 little snaps there, but we managed to keep the car under control. That is one thing I do try and take pride in, my car control. If I do lose the car, my ability to control it is very good. You can see, looking at the sky, boys, it's a little bit overcast. You know, it's not the brightest race that I've ever seen in Austria, not the sunniest. So our strategy is medium soft towards the end, because it's meant to get sunnier towards the end according to the weather forecast. And we're going to send it down the inside again from way downtown on Carlos Sainz. Didn't learn our lesson from the first lap that the traction was better on the outside, but we managed to make that pass because we do take a lot more of an outside line compared to the first lap when we tried that purple in sector 1 there on lap 2 as well. But like I say, the weather is meant to clear up a lot more towards the end of this race when we go onto the soft tyres. So we will have the softer compound, the faster tyre, of course, while the track is hotter, the air temperature is hotter. So hopefully that'll give us a great last stint in this race. Now, me and Carlos going back to back here through the DRS zones, the home straight, or the pit straight, and then this back straight here. The two, obviously, DRS zones at the end of each of those. So we were literally just going backwards and forwards for a few laps now, just trading DRS positions. Now, Fernando Alonso wants to get involved in the mix here, as he's going to send it down the inside on us there through this here, and we give Fernando a lot of space, take the outside line, and he's still going to be up the inside. We probably could have came back across there and took the racing line, but we left the door so wide open for Fernando Alonso there. But sometimes you have to open a door to close a window. I don't know what that even means, but anyway, Fernando Alonso is now ahead of us on the soft tyres. Hopefully we can get that position back on Alonso on the mediums. Never mind, I was going to say wait till the end of the race and we can get that position back on the softs. We completely cut the corner there. I'm pretty sure cutting that corner like that doesn't even give you much boost of time. But anyway, we're going to slow down before the end of the pit straight there to try and get DRS from Fernando Alonso, which we do. We run wide through turn 1. We have to take evasive action over the sausage curb. But like I said, we slowed down. We didn't overtake Fernando before the end of the straight, so we could get DRS down the straight. And we slowed down again at the end of that straight to get DRS for this one. So perfect play from us to pass Alonso, and Alonso has lost another place to Carlos there. Now Carlos is back in the mix trading DRS with us, overtaken before the end of the straight, and we get DRS for the next straight. So literally this was it for a few laps now, just slipstream DRS. It's literally just a straight, a 90-degree turn, and another straight in Austria. So that's all you have to worry about really for overtakes. The rest of the track is a bit like a roller coaster. Overtaking through sector 2 and 3 is very tricky, but Carlos is going to send it down the inside now, like Fernando did a few laps ago. And Sainz gets a better exit there than us, taking that place back. Like I said, it's hard to overtake anywhere apart from sector 1, but Carlos has just proved me wrong, making a little nice overtake there. And we run very wide there, a lot of understeer through that corner. Don't really know what happened there, but Carlos now, we're trying to use a bit of battery to try and stay within that 1 second gap to Carlos for DRS, of course. As we head down to the main straight now, we're going to use a lot of battery and DRS down this straight to catch up to Carlos Sainz as the fuel flashes up that we have low fuel. Obviously we've underfueled the car a lot to save on weight and save on lap time. So you can see the little yellow icon in the bottom right there as we take a massive bump off the grass. That was just so unnecessary. But we go purple in sector 1 again, very quick. Obviously our car in a straight line, having the best drag reduction probably on the grid and the best engine on the grid as of right now, I do think. Or did Mercedes overtake us, or was that in the next episode? I don't know. I pre-record these episodes, so sometimes I get a bit confused as to where we are up to in these episodes. But Carlos Sainz sending one down the inside there, a very awkward corner to overtake on. If you do remember last year in the last season's race, well, not last year, in last season's race, season 1 in Austria, Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton made contact at that very corner right there as Sebastian was pitting, and Lewis just flew straight into the side of him, or vice versa. I can't remember which way round it was now. But obviously Carlos not going with the pit there, just going for the overtake as we take a place back from Carlos Sainz. Like I say a few times already in this video, we were just trading places, but Pierre Gasly is 6 seconds ahead of us now, boys. He's doing the same thing, I think, with Lewis Hamilton, and you can see on the map that group of cars in front of us just coming across the finish line now, how massive it is. And Carlos again going down the inside. We managed to carry a lot more speed this time through sector 3 and managed to stay in front of Carlos as we head into the DRS detection zone. and Carlos overtakes us before the end of the straight. But boys, it looks like Max Verstappen in P1 absolutely running away with the race here, but that pack of cars behind Max from Lewis, I think, in P2, or Bottas in P2, all the way down to Pierre, they're all very close to each other. So if we can catch up to those guys, it would be very beneficial for us, because we do have a very fast car, easy to overtake. But it looks like Bottas is just holding that crew up. But a few laps later, a few people are starting to pit, I think, or think about pitting, especially those soft tyre runners. We send it down the inside, compromise Sainz's line, or try to, but Sainz gets a nice exit out of turn 3 there, heading towards the downhill braking zone of turn 4. Carlos up the inside, maybe a little bumper contact there. I think Carlos might have locked one of his tyres. He seemed to miss the apex of that corner there, and there might have been a little bit of contact as we try and carry some speed around the outside, but it's not going to work. Very easy to lose traction through this section. Make sure you don't touch that inside left curb there, which we completely don't, but if you touch that, you will lose every sort of piece of grip that you have, and you will spin the car. As Carlos now, he's coming into the pits, and we almost make contact with Carlos Sainz. Like I mentioned last season, Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton made contact right there on that very corner, in that very instance where one of them was pitting and the other one came across, because in Austria, the pit line is the same as the racing line. But boys, Sergio Perez behind us, spinning out there. It looks like he goes into the wall. Sergio Perez, let's see what happened. This is from our angle. Sergio Perez, we are in front of now. Perez has came up from P16 on the grid, I do believe. Run a bit wide on the final corner, and it looks like Perez has made a bit of contact with us, and he's flew into the wall. We'll see that now from Perez's POV. Let's see what happens. So coming through the final corner, we go a bit wide on the exit. Perez a lot tighter on the inside, but Perez taps us on the rear wheel. He keeps it out the wall. Maybe a bit of damage to the front wing, I don't even know there, or if that was just a tyre that took the brunt of the impact. But Sergio Perez going straight into the back of our rear right tyre. And spinning out there. Now Fernando Alonso is out of the session a few laps after that incident that we saw there with Sergio Perez. It looks like Alonso was coming into box, but he stays out and pulls the car over to the side of the road because his engine is gone. And now in that situation, I don't know why they don't just pull into the pits. That would make a lot more sense. But now a very familiar sight, us racing a red car of the Ferrari, but this time it is Charles Leclerc in the same places that we were racing against Carlos earlier on in the race. We have Lando behind us, as well as Charles, as Lando tries to send it up the inside there, but like we saw in the first lap, you get much better traction on the outside there through turn 3. Now Charles Leclerc, he's going to go for it at the end of the home straight. We brake early so we can get DRS on Charles. Maybe a little bump on the bodywork of Charles there as we come through, but Lewis Hamilton we see in the rear view mirror absolutely flying down this straight, passes Leclerc with ease. Look at the pace of that Mercedes there of Lewis Hamilton as we go wide on the exit of turn 3, and we're going to have Lewis Hamilton right behind us now. He's so easily passed Charles Leclerc, and look at this, look at the pace from this Mercedes. They must have found a new engine mode or something, because that was absolutely rapid from Lewis. Lewis moves up into P3 in the race as we now head towards the pits. It is our time to pit, and Charles Leclerc, he makes contact just like Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton last season. And as we see the final turn now, Nico Rosberg and Lando Norris coming through, but we don't see our car. Let's see a replay of what happened there. Coming through sector 2, Lewis Hamilton in front of us, very slow through turn 4 there, Lewis. We nearly make a bit of contact there with Lewis already, but lap 21 of 36. I do think we might have changed to the one-stop strategy here, because it's lap 21 now out of 36. But we are coming into the pits, obviously staying on the inside the white line, and Leclerc just straight into the back of us, and we go into the wall as well. And there's a big collision there with Pierre Gasly, and Pierre Gasly is going to be out of the session. Pierre Gasly has lost a tyre. Let's see from Leclerc's point of view. We go into pits, and Leclerc just straight into the side of us. Straight into the side of us. EA, well not EA, Codemasters really need to fix the AI on Austria, because that is 2 seasons in a row we have seen that. But that's a massive collision with Pierre. This is Pierre's point of view. We just come back onto the track. Nothing we could have done about that. We just got catapulted off the metal barrier into the side of the wall. Pierre's on board now. We can see just the purple car looking like Barney the dinosaur coming to eat Pierre, and it takes off his front tyre there. So unfortunate for Pierre, but the safety car comes out. We get a 5-second penalty for a collision with Pierre Gasly, and we managed to crawl into the pits. Very lucky that we didn't go past, you know, the final corner there, the final turn, and we managed to crawl it into the pits. Should have been an unsafe, like, whatever the penalty's called, because we didn't, like, start from the pit lane, like, line at the start, you know what I mean? Like, it was very, like, awkward how we had to enter the pits there. But, yeah, if you didn't see, like, once we came back onto the track and hit Pierre, that wasn't for the penalty, or that wasn't what the penalty was for. Once we hit Pierre, his car stopped. We kept rolling because it's downhill. I didn't hit the brakes. We kept rolling and tapped Pierre while he was stopped, and that gave us a 5-second penalty. So anyway, behind the safety car, we are onto the one-stop strategy now instead of the two-stop. We made those mediums last a bit of tyre management. We go onto the soft tyres, save our penalty behind the safety car. Absolutely massive for us to be able to do that. We've got some heat in the tyres as we wait for the safety car restart. Nicholas Latifi, George Russell in front of us. I can see Antonio Giovinazzi in front of us. Hopefully we can just blitz past these guys. We're going to have the pace. I thought we might have been able to make a pass on a few of them through turn 1. We get Latifi easy, but I thought we might have cleared Giovinazzi and Russell as well with the pace of this car and the heat in the tyres and them being fresh soft tyres. But George Russell covers the inside there, or does he? We make a bit of contact with George Russell. He decides to go for the inside line and then come back. Stupid from George Russell, but he makes a pass on Antonio Giovinazzi. Luckily, we take no damage to the front wing as well. That would have been a howler. But now, can we make a pass on Giovinazzi and Russell, who are racing wheel to wheel, side by side? Look at the speed of, or the grip on these soft tyres that me and George have on compared to Giovinazzi's mediums, which I think are old. Giovinazzi goes up the inside there. We give him a lot of space. Nice racing from us. And we are, of course, going to stay ahead. Now we are chasing down the Williams of George Russell, and you can see just how fast our car is already. And it looks like George is going to come into pit as we go around the outside, almost make contact again. Codemasters really need to do something about that pit entry with the AI in Austria, because that's 2 seasons in a row now that we've had big crashes there, and unfortunately it was us this year that got involved with it as we cut the corner completely of turn 1 up into P8 though, up into the points. Love to see it. Esteban Ocon and Lance Stroll in front of us now. Hopefully we can clear Esteban Ocon with ease. We brake heavy, managed to not make contact with him there, and we're not going to have DRS yet, but we still just look at the speed, the pace of these soft tyres compared to those old mediums that Stroll and Ocon are running there. So Ocon around the outside, but yeah, we clear Ocon with ease. Next up, Lance Stroll. Can we take Lance Stroll and move up into P6? Absolutely massive from us there. Tactical masterclass to take out Pierre Gasly on purpose, of course, to bring out the safety car, which has saved our race. Not only messing, of course, that way and on purpose, but literally nothing we could do. We got hit by Leclerc, lost control of the car, hit the wall, bounced back onto the track. Always a nasty one when a car crashes and bounces back onto the track. So yeah, unfortunate for Pierre, but maybe we'll give him a seat at our team next year to make up for it. Who knows? DRS enabled now. We're going to slow down a little before the end of the straight and stay behind Stroll's just so we can get DRS down the straight. Make the pass on Stroll there. Now we can chase down Daniel Ricciardo, who is 1.2 seconds ahead, but with DRS before the end of the straight, we bring that 1.2 down to 8 tenths, and we are going to be now behind Daniel in Daniel's DRS range, which is absolutely massive as we head towards turn 4. Speaking of 4, can we get into the top 4? Valtteri Bottas, 5 seconds ahead. Can we clear Ricciardo? And do we have the pace in the last 8 laps of the race to make up 5.4 seconds to catch Bottas? Can we still see a podium? It looks like right now Nico Rosberg is in a podium place, boys. If you see on the map, it looks like Max, Lewis, Nico and Valtteri. Can we see Nico Rosberg's first podium for the team? That would be absolutely huge in a race like this, especially coming off the back of 3 back-to-back wins for us as a driver. It doesn't really look good on our teammates if they haven't even had a podium yet for the team. Can Nico do it? Let's find out in a few laps as we still chase down Ricciardo. And we've just been showing this footage of us catching Ricciardo. DRS, it looks like we're going to have the pace now as we tuck him behind and get the slipstream, come out, and we are going to go past Daniel Ricciardo there, and we go purple in sector 1 very quick from us getting the slipstream, DRS and just our car in general being very quick through sector 1 in Austria. It looks like Charles Leclerc might be dead last in this race if you look at the map in the bottom left. Obviously Leclerc, I'm not sure what damage he took from crashing into the side of us, probably needed to box for a new front wing. I'm not too sure about that one now. But boys, Valtteri Bottas takes the checkered flag. Valtteri Bottas, who was in P4, has overtaken Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, and has qualified or finished the race in P1. Nico Rosberg finishing in P4, just missing out on that podium. Unfortunate for Nico, but I'm sure it is coming, Nico. Yeah, stay focused, and we will get that. We finish in P5, massive result for us. Sergio Perez, driver of the day. I swear this guy gets driver of the day every week in real life. He qualifies in like P20 in this Red Bull and goes and gets driver of the day every single race. I swear that's all he's done all season for Red Bull. But P5 for us from, where was it? I can't even remember, on the grid. P10 on the grid. A nice little gain there. P4 for Nico. Solid points for the team, you know, coming 4th and 5th. Proper, like, I don't even know who I was going to say. I was going to say Leclerc and Sainz, proper Ferrari finish, that 4th and 5th, and it just in the middle, like top half, just getting solid points for the team. But it's nice to see us both getting solid points, you know, throwback to the first race of the season in Bahrain, where we did finish 4th and 5th as well behind each other. So, yeah, Valtteri, I don't know where that pace came from. Valtteri is so OP on this game, but to go from P4 with 5 laps left to P1, especially when Max was so far ahead, I have no idea how he's done it, and I have no idea why they make this guy so good on the game. It's now over 365 real-life days since Bottas has won a race. Nico up from P7 and us up from P10. You can see they're confirming 22 points for the team, but Mercedes getting massive points there with Lewis and Valtteri on the podium, of course. Red Bull getting some nice points as well, so we'll check out the standings in a moment and see what that's saying. Charles Leclerc finishing the race in P10 with the fastest lap of the race, I may add. 9/10 quicker than us. Outrageous pace from Charles Leclerc there. Where did Carlos Sainz finish? Carlos Sainz finished in P18, so a stinker from Carlos Sainz, especially when he was racing us towards the start of the race. I don't know what happened there to Sainz. But you can see now Nico has moved into P9 in the driver's standings, just 2 points behind Carlos Sainz in P6 in the standings, so it's very close in the mid-table there. We are still 26 points ahead of Charles Leclerc though. In the constructors, we are 24 points ahead of Ferrari, 27 ahead of Red Bull, and 36 ahead of Mercedes. There's going to be such a tough season, boys. It is so close between those 4 teams I just mentioned there, us, Ferrari, Red Bull and Mercedes. It's really going to come down to the wire this season. I can feel it already. We are going to save up for this second driver pace increase in the marketing department. We do want to buy that. We go ahead and get this tyre wear upgrade. Yeah, we do want to go ahead and improve Nico's pace. That'll just improve his qualifying performance. Hopefully start a bit further up on the grid, especially when our car's so good. You know, on the comparison chart, we have the 3rd best car at the moment. We did have the 2nd, probably would have still have the 2nd if this downforce upgrade didn't fail. Very unfortunate that the downforce upgrade failed. I wanted to get that before Silverstone, but we don't. We get the rear halo upgrade though, for rear downforce. That comes in before Silverstone, which is massive. We also get the brake upgrade before Silverstone, which is massive. I've been wanting that brake upgrade for so long now, and it has finally come through. So we can go and check out now. We do have the best car on the grid, apparently, according to the vehicle comparison chart, heading into Silverstone. You can see the brake has unlocked. We have the best chassis on the grid, according to the charts. We have the 3rd or 4th best engine. You can see there, I did mention Mercedes got a supplier upgrade, McLaren top, Mercedes P2, Aston Martin P3, 4 engine. Their supplier upgrade must have came through and been absolutely belter. We've still got to wait a month, I think, for the next Ferrari supplier upgrade to come through. But we are going to have 6 million in the bank. We go ahead and get this upgrade for the personnel department. Now, this didn't save in my game. You'll see in the next episode that didn't save that upgrade, and it's actually beneficial that it didn't. I'll explain that more in the next episode. But boys, heading into Silverstone, we are in the best car on the grid according to the charts, according to the stats. Can we convert that into a pole position and a race win? Who knows? You'll have to find out in the next episode. If you did enjoy this episode, like, comment, share and subscribe. Like I say, the uploads are going to be a bit slacking because of the release of FIFA, so apologies for that. But best way to stay up to date, subscribe to the channel, notification bell, turn it on. You'll never miss an upload. Check the channel regularly as well. I will catch us next time for Silverstone, hopefully before the end of the week. Take it easy.